not give a certain standardized test that in their view was one test too many. They organized the parents, they organized the community, they organized their fellow teachers, and the test was discontinued over Arne Duncan's objection. A group of hunger-striking mothers got a school built while Arne Duncan was superintendent. And these are all stories you can look up and find out about. My point is, we don't need to wait for the great men to do for us what we need to do for ourselves. The great labor leader, Eugene Debs, once said to a group of workers in Chicago at the turn of the last century, if I could lead you into the promised land, I would not do it, because someone else would come along and lead you out. And what he meant by that was, if you want to see change, real change, not superficial change, not change that's going to be taken away tomorrow, real change, you have to do it for yourself. So I was just in Detroit, and Detroit, the activists that I know in Detroit have a slogan, and two slogans. One is Detroit, City of Hope, and the other is Detroit is the future. Now, if you've been in Detroit recently, Detroit is a city. There's a reason for their madness. Detroit is a city that had 500,000 people in 1900, 3 million people in 1950, and 500,000 people today. And if you want to see urban blight like you've never seen it, go to Detroit. Go to Detroit. I went to a high school for pregnant girls in Detroit, and the school will blow your mind. It's so amazing because an enterprising science teacher began to reclaim abandoned lots in the neighborhood as they were being abandoned, and started a gardening program for the girls. Simple thing, many of you could imagine doing that type of thing, but it expanded so quickly and so far that it became a farm. It wasn't gardening, it was farming, meaning that they were producing a surplus and selling it in the neighborhood. Then they decided to build a barn. With their proceeds, they built a barn. They got 2 horses donated. They now have goats, chickens, ducks, sheep. And you go into this place in the middle of burned out Detroit, and here's this, this farm, functioning farm. So I'm looking at the farm. It's a Saturday, and a couple of guys from across the street sitting on a stoop come over, and I asked them, and they say, "This is a great school. We love this school." And one of the kids, probably 23 years old, says, as the grocery stores have abandoned this neighborhood, I always come over here. I can get a chicken. The girls will kill it and clean it for $3, and I have a chicken for the week. And I'm thinking, wow. Now, those are people who are putting a demand on themselves. They're saying, we're not waiting for the government to get it right. We're going to get it right for ourselves. And in getting it right, we're going to transform our reality and transform our sense of ourselves, not as passive consumers of democracy, but as active creators of democracy. That's a world of difference.